Hey Leo, Mariah here. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing really, really well. So of course we are moving through the month of November into December, and I want to take a look, since November's pretty much done, what is going on in your December of 2024, the last month of 2024. How was it for you? Was it an enjoyable year? Was life lifing for you this year? I'm so curious, so let me know in the comments. How was your year this year? But I want to hop into December, right? The last month. So spirit guides, angels, and sisters, when it comes to Leo, tell me what's the most important messages that Leo needs to know at this time. What is the most, thank you, conflict, disillusionment is the word that comes to mind. Either it happened or it's happening in December. The glass ceiling on something is getting broken. There's a feeling of disillusionment. You're going to be seeing something clearly for what it truly is. This may even be a part of the Mercury retrograde, bringing something or someone or some things back to review. And it feels like in that process, something clicks. You get it. You understand it. But because now seeing things clearly, the glass ceiling is now broken. You can't unsee what you have saw. You can't unexperience what you have experienced. And maybe because we could have been in this bubble of illusion or confusion or uncertainty, we didn't know. I go to the phrase or saying, not phrase, cognitive dissonance. We may have not been seeing our reality and perceiving it as clear as day. But it kind of does feel like this Mercury retrograde transit may be activating this. And if not, that's okay. It just still feels like you're having the rug pulled from underneath your feet. This something catches you off guard. Something catches you off guard that maybe you even had like an inkling about it. Maybe you even felt something was off. Maybe you even felt your gut, your intuition would have had to tell you this, Leo. You would have heard warning bells in your psyche, in your spirit, in your soul. But again, I think we were maybe in a phase, no matter how long that phase may have been in, where it was hard to make sense of things. It was hard to make reasons of things. It was hard to objectively look at a certain situation, whether because we didn't have all the information, we didn't have all the facts, we can only go off our feelings or assumptions, but we didn't have any concrete proof. Maybe there were just other levels of uncertainty that we didn't have those missing variables to come to a conclusion to understand or make sense of what our experience was or what we were seeing or feeling. And now the glass is broken. You see it clearly. Either you got that information, and mind you, if it hasn't happened to you yet already, this would be happening in December. So either you got that information, you're receiving that information, or you're no longer in this illusion space. You have been disillusioned. So if I was to give you an example, maybe we were in a relationship, we thought our partner was one way, and the glass ceiling breaks. You really start seeing this person's character, their habits, and their attributes for what they truly are. You start really seeing their actions. You start really listening to their words, and you're realizing the person that I started off with is not the same person I'm with right now, or even with a job or career. Feeling like, you know what? I put in all this time or all this effort or this energy in this position, but I'm fighting for a job that doesn't even align with me anymore, or it doesn't even give me the adequate pay, or it doesn't even value me. I'm dealing with these family situations or these friend relationships out of not only comfortability, but maybe a bit of obligation because our loyalty to these people. But when that glass ceiling breaks, we start to see like, hold on, they weren't even a good friend to begin with, or at some point in our friendship, they weren't holding me down like I was holding them, or just because they're family, now I'm seeing that they may have not had my best interest, or they have to go live their own life experiences, and because of things that they're choosing for their life, I don't want that to be affecting me anymore, and having to realize that, hey, I may have to let go of that friend, I may have to let go of that family member, I may have to let go of that relationship. That glass ceiling is shattered. And it almost feels like you're perplexed. It's not a weird energy to feel that you're perplexed. But I don't know if it's a welcoming of the glass shattering, or if it's like, damn, having to face a hard reality of the glass shattering. Let me look a little bit further into this for you. See what's going on here for you, Leo. Can you tell me more about this energy? Why am I getting this conflict here for Leo in the month of December? Probiotics. Somebody, not for everybody, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'm getting probiotics. Just make sure you're keeping up on your health. Specifically for my women out there, your women's health is important. Mammogram is coming to mind. I'm going to just leave it there. Check, just make sure you keep up on your health. Let's keep going. Why is this conflict here? Tell me more for Leo. We got the Emperor in the reverse. The Lovers. It's not your responsibility to convince somebody on how to love you appropriately. It's not your responsibility to convince somebody or to show somebody consistently or over and over how you deserve to be appreciated or how you deserve to feel love or what makes you feel love. You don't. This is surrounding a relationship with somebody. And again, it does not have to be romantic. I know our minds tend to go there with tarot, but it does not in this space. It's like, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I'm not going to keep telling you the same thing over and over. I shouldn't have to keep telling you how I need to be treated or what I need. I can't keep telling you, because it almost feels like you tell somebody something, they hear you, they say, okay. And then you're like, oh, well, where's the action behind that? Where's the results behind that? Tell me more. Tell me more. The Judgment and the Hierophant. Tell me more. That's not your business to, I don't know why I want to go to that. It's not your business to convince anybody of your worth or how you deserve to be treated. This almost takes me back to even your childhood, Leo, because I get an energy of feeling misunderstood. I don't know if you were really understood truly in your childhood. You may have been a out-of-the-box kid. I'm getting somebody who was like an out-of-the-box kid. Maybe you were like the hyper-creative kid that maybe you were a little bit different or a little bit eccentric from the other kids. Maybe you were a super intelligent person and maybe more introverted, so it was hard for you to socially interact with other people. Maybe you just like to shine, and just through being, you like the attention or like the light or just like to be a light in people's life. Other people may try to dim that, which still may have made you feel out of place, misunderstood. And this feels like in some degree it has carried on into your adulthood to where now with relationships, jobs, and people, we find ourselves subconsciously trying to convince people of our worth when you ain't never had to do that. You never had to do that. This feels like operating out of a childhood wound in some regard. And now, because of whatever scenario that just happened or will be happening in December, the glass ceiling is breaking. And you're realizing something for what it truly is, that it really wasn't originally, but really what it's linking me to is a deeper issue that goes back to your childhood through unresolved patterns of being accepted, being truly loved, being truly embraced for who you are, not being made to feel like you're different, not made to feel like you're ostracized, not made to feel like, you know, you're a weirdo or you're, because you beat to a different tune of a drum, your frequency may be at a different octave than other people on. So you show up a little bit radically different in life than other people. You may show up with walking a trail or walking a path in life that is not traditional to most or other people. Maybe you've had or have lived an unorthodox life. But even in that, you taking an uncharted path or uncharted territory, we still was kind of like the lone wolf. We understood us, but it's like we can go, and not saying me, I'm talking to whoever this is resonating for. It's like you can go into an environment with different types of people, poor people, rich people, these kind of people, that kind of people, it don't matter, and you can float. You know, because you've been through a lot, you're well-versed, you're well-experienced, so you've seen a lot of seasons of life, so you got wisdom underneath your belt. So you can go into different rooms and float with different people, different backgrounds, and different ethnic cultures or races or creeds, but those people, all these different people can't float in the same arena as you. This is what makes you feel like a lot of times life is really isolating. Is because you can easily blend into other people's worlds, but not too many people can come into your world and blend into all the different facets that make you who you are. Whether it's the nerdy side of you, the weirdo side of you, the eccentric side of you, the gothic side of you, the side of you that can be depressive, and the side of you that can be bougie as all hell. It's like it's hard for you to meet people that see all of these aspects of you and embrace them, but yet you can do that for other people. And whomever or whatever this was, you may have felt like this was going to be in alignment with all those aspects of you or the aspects of life that you're trying to go towards, but that glass ceiling said, no, baby, not I. And that's what it feels like you're having to face. A reality check. Or maybe you've already faced it. And this December, you're just dealing with the residual of it. Tell me more. Tell me more about this energy for Leo. Why is this coming through? You know, we got the Two of Swords in the reverse, Five of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm getting Adele. Adele is coming to mind. Specifically her album 21. I think that was her big breakout album. I'm just hearing her songs coming through. Knight of Wands in the last two here for Leo. Three of Swords. Tower. The glass, see it. This is going to hit you like a Mack truck. This is hitting somebody like a Mack truck out of left field. It's like I don't know, with that Lover's Judgment, Knight of Wands, we were caught up in the excitement of it initially, the passion of it. Maybe we were being impulsive. We were moving off of emotion or moving off of excitement or passion versus giving things time to play out or really taking a step back and seeing. And then sometimes some people can just be really convincing. Some circumstances can look really nice. Even if we sit back and wait, they may go unsuspecting. So if we were dealing with a person in a situation, maybe this person has always been this way. You are just now realizing it. That's one of the ways I'm looking at a glass ceiling being broke for somebody. This person was always this way. You're just now seeing it, or you're just now accepting the reality of this person's not going to change. This person is who they are. They've always been this way. I just didn't notice it. They've always been this way, but I've just been blinded by love or my emotions or the hope that we can get through circumstances. But no, this person they got their own SHIT they got to work out, and that does not involve me. If this is a work or a career situation, you may start to realize I'm doing all this work to make somebody else wealthy or to make somebody else rich, but at the end of the day, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, or I'm not making enough to get by, or I'm busting my butt at work and I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and it's still not emotionally fulfilling me, or coming to realize that this is a dead-end job. Now you're realizing there's not going to be any up leveling in your title with this position. There's probably not going to be any promotion. Like, you realize that I'm not going to grow with this company. I'm not going to grow with this job. And the glass ceiling is all the effort, all the investment, all the energy, all of the work you've had to do in that title and role just to realize that just went down the drain because it's a dead end. And that's the reality of the glass ceiling. That it's a beautifully uncomfortable process because it allows you to liberate yourself to now see things in reality, to align yourself with outcomes that get you what you want. But then it's also uncomfortable because we're having to get out of that illusion. And it's never a comfortable process to wake up from your slumber. But I see you doing that forcefully. Like, life is forcing this glass ceiling to break. You can't, whether you're holding on to it or you're already on that edge of knowing that glass ceiling needs to break, it's happening for you in December. How is this affecting? I want to see, how is this affecting you? How is this affecting Leo with this glass ceiling breaking? So let's take a look. Let's see. How is this going to be affecting Leo? We have guidance. May I have one more? How is this affecting Leo? And work. And that acceptance. You know why this glass ceiling hurts, or it's going to be uncomfortable? Because it's going to be a reminder of the previous times, and I take this back to your childhood, to be honest. This is going to remind you of the times where you felt rejected, where you felt not good enough. This is going to remind you of the times where, you know how we say, how come them but not me? Or I'm fated to suffer. These feelings of low self-worth or these feelings of low self-esteem is going to be triggered because it's like, why me? Why did I just have to deal with that? And that trigger goes back to our childhood of being made to feel by others or by society that we were not good enough. Us being who we are was not good enough. You being eccentric, Leo, that's weird. You're not good enough to fit in. However you operated as a child, maybe the parents may have not given you that time or attention that you needed, making you feel like, oh, I'm not a priority, I'm not good enough. This goes deep. I don't want to play therapist here for you, because I can see how this could start getting to that level. So I want to be responsible. I don't want to play therapist, but there's some deeper wounds that goes back to feeling accepted or not accepted in your younger years, and this is going to re-trigger that, having that glass ceiling broken. If it's a relationship and now realizing somebody's true colors that always been there, it's like, why do I keep attracting these same kind of people? Why do I keep attracting the people that show me their representative and then later on they turn out it's gonna do that to you. You know what's beautiful about this though? Because with that guidance there, not only was it meant to happen for you, but I think the light at the end of that, or light at the end of the tunnel, or the light on the other side of that glass ceiling breaking, I think this is going to refine, redefine, and resharpen who you are and what your worth is. And I think the situation is going to almost force your hand to do some of that deeper digging back into your childhood, specifically your relationship to your mother and the matriarch of your family, and whether you are a man or a woman. Whatever this acceptance issue is, links back to your mother in some regard. Even if you had a mother that did accept you, look at it from the, if you will, the feminine energy. What about the other women in your family? What about the women and the children that you went to school with, that you were surrounding yourself by? How did you see your mother? What did your mother show you as examples? Good, bad, or indifferent? This is all going to come back and trigger. I think one of the deeper roots is going to link you to your mother. But a little more surface if we go a little bit above the depth. This is going to force you to reevaluate some things seriously before stepping into the new year. So I like this energy for you, especially as we're starting 2025. Not the glass ceiling breaking, but I like this worth energy because this is the perfect momentum through having that reality check of being able to redefine your self-worth. So that way in 2025, we can go into that year with a better game plan, a better understanding of who we are, what our identity is, and the situations that we have allowed ourselves to partake in that in the end shows us was just not meant for us. Anything else here for Leo? Not to be so long-winded, jeez, it's kind of long. We got the Judgment in the reverse, 8 of Wands in the reverse. You're overly stimulated. You're overly stimulated. Somebody's overly stimulated. Whether you too much in the mind, too much in the head, too much in your thoughts. Try your best not to confuse your fear with your intuition. Try your best not to confuse your intuition with your thoughts, because somebody's just a little shaken up. Somebody's a little bit wired. Not for all of y'all, but somebody is. Somebody is. This ceiling breaking throws somebody's nervous system out of whack. But this is higher power, your God, your spirit guides, letting you know that glass ceiling being broken was brought to you by me personally, because that person, that job, that situation is not only not going to benefit you in your next season of life, but whatever this is truly not aligned with you at your core. And it was only a matter of when and not if, when you were going to catch up to realizing this was not aligned with you at your core. And that's why the glass ceiling breaks. Spirit has to break it, because I don't think we're seeing it clearly, or even if we can see it, where's the actions, where's the movement? And if we haven't initiated the movement to break this glass ceiling, Spirit's going to do it for you. So I see you coming out on the other side of this. Yes, maybe a little frazzled, because that reality check is not always comfortable. But I love how empowered you will be once that nervous energy kind of calms down, your stimuli is not as activated. You are going to really redefine yourself and say, I'm tired of being put back in this position. Because again, this is going to trigger previous experiences. I'm tired of being back in this position. I'm too old for this. I'm too wise for this. I'm too knowledgeable for this. I'm too tired for this. I don't want to deal with this BS. Y'all, Spirit, get somebody else to do it, not me. You're very much so motivated to prevent this from being your experience again. And we know life, things happen, things can repeat themselves. But if you have any power or control or say, it's like you're just telling yourself, I'm not dealing with this again. I don't want to feel what that glass ceiling was like. I don't want to deal with these people. I don't want to deal with those circumstances. So I think you're starting off 2025 in the right direction. What comes for Leo after this? Let me see. What comes for Leo after this once this glass ceiling is broken? Let's just do one quick pull here. Discovery. And then the honoring. I love this. I'm going to leave this here for you, Leo. I'll just say these things. This is you discovering or redefining your identity and who you are. This is you discovering either people, relationships. This more so feels like yourself versus external though initially. So that first top of your January 2025 may be more self-focused, not to say other people aren't involved in your life, but I think once this glass ceiling breaks and you discover that out, it's like now you have clear space to walk a path that honors you. Now you have clear space to open up your energy to relationships that honor you, to jobs that honor you, to pay that gives you what you're worth and that pays you what you're worth. You're able to clear space for friends and people that are on your path that honor you, where you don't have to, I want to use the word feel misunderstood. I just keep getting somebody just feels misunderstood or has always felt into some regard, just misunderstood. Like you just don't, people don't get all facets of you. They don't get all sides of you. It's like somebody with real stark, dry humor, you know, or they can be sarcastic with a straight face. They're telling a joke. They're trying to be funny, but if you don't catch up on their humor, you won't get it. You're going to think they're being serious. It's like that with you. It's like you're so multifaceted and complex that either people try to put you in a box that only one side of you may fit, but the rest of it don't. So it's like they're trying to categorize you inappropriately. People try to reduce who you are to make sense of you, to reason and understand in their feeble mind who is Leo, what Leo wants, how Leo can add value, or do I want Leo in my... It's like people reduce the shit out of your energy just to make sense in their minds of who you are, but you're too complex. You're too much of a complex individual, and this is why I get that misunderstood energy. On that note, my phone just started ringing. On that note, Leo, I'm going to let you go. Know that I love you. You take care.